If you're a writer who's in need of a little inspiration, or a reader who's just curious about the writing process, then here's a place for you. Okay, hello, welcome again to another reading of my poetry collection, which is called A Brief Encounter of Consciousness, Affairs of the Soul. So it's another early morning one, and I'm just conscious that people are in bed. Okay, so I'm going to try and just keep it down a wee bit. Okay, so bear with me, just going to get my book. So yeah, I need to read from the book today because I don't know this one. Yeah, I've made a bit of a botched job previously, haven't I, with the things that I didn't know that I thought I did. Okay, so here we go. This one is called Moving into Life. So I was just thinking about maturing, and I tell you what, it is a luxury for us to mature. You know, it's funny, when you're younger, even in 30s probably, you know, people might be possibly scared about being in the 40s, in the 50s, 60s and so on and so forth, but I tell you what, it's a bloody privilege. You know, if you're racking up those high numbers, man, it is a privilege. You know, and whether you're looking like a 30-year-old or whatever, irregardless, doesn't matter, because you must be doing something right. Yeah, you're walking with your faculties, you know what I mean, your compass mentis, you know, as much as you can be in this bizarre world, you're doing something right. So yeah, I was just thinking about maturing and just what we experience if we're lucky enough, you know, and the things that we discover if we're lucky enough about ourselves, you know, because I think it's important to look within at some point in your life, and also observing, you know, the outside as well, and just seeing things for what they are, good and bad. Yeah, so that's what it was about, really. Just again, reflections, and just, you know, thinking about, yeah, just thinking about life and how life affects me at this stage in my experience of it. Okay, so here we go. Moving into life. Maturing for me is seeing through the eyes of the soul, knowing nothing can strike at its core unless admitted, trusting enough to let go of taboos that were once designed to clone us. Maturing for me is seeking for the sake of truth, not for the egotistical self. And knowing centered inside me states that we should not live apart, abandon separation, all forms of segregation. Maturing for me is knowing you as a part of me, yet acknowledging our separate identities, blessing our uniqueness, yet loving similarities. Maturing for me is living life in fullness, swaying to its deep, hypnotic ways, remembering each other, not illusions, seeing beauty in reflections of thyself. Okay. And isn't that what we possibly are here to do on one level? Reflect and see the reflections of each other. You know, this is why I think we really enjoy watching each other, you know, and especially, you know, reality TV, because it's so fascinating, you know, or just enjoy a good story, you know, written by someone, you know, a thorough story that's in depth and, you know, detailed. We enjoy it because, you know, I think that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to see the reflection of ourselves in other beings. Okay, so as this was short and sweet, I'm going to do another one. Okay. Right, I'm going to do my best Yorkshire accent for this one, okay? Because this is called Wonderous Yorkshire. Because I've got me booking this one. Wonderous Yorkshire Greenery. Okay, right, I'm only joking. Okay, so again, this one was in a similar vein to Finally See. I was just marvelling at how beautiful Yorkshire is. Yeah, sort of 10 minutes up the road and you've just got luscious sort of green. And when I was at college, I'd go through sort of Halifax right up to, Todd, and just the valleys, just beautiful and lush and green, and it never ceased to, you know, inspire and just make me feel peace, you know, just never tire of it. So this is called Wondrous Yorkshire Greenery. Now, there is a section in this where I'm talking about city dwellers, okay, not meaning to cause any offence, just using it as an example, just because I myself was in the city in London, southeast London actually, for 15 years. So I felt like I, you know, qualified a little bit to talk about it, and it was from my own perspective really, not just some random person that I was, you know, speculating about. It was, you know, from my own perspective being there. All right, so once again, Wondrous Yorkshire Greenery. The sanctuary of the world, the pureness of the Pennines, the seduction of Yorkshire's natural sights. To venture through the valleys of Yorkshire after city life is like a dream. Lashings and lashings of greenery flowing freshness into the soul. Supreme tall bold trees filled with birds singing triumphant songs. So magical the scene. It has the power to inspire any permanent city dweller who ponders on experiencing the countryside. This wonderful scenery, which costs nothing materially, should be viewed by everyone. If only we could borrow eyes that see the wonder of the world in everything. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Because I tell you what, if we could borrow eyes that saw the wonder of the world in everything, it would alleviate probably 80%, if not more, of our problems here as a human being living this human life. All right, I shall see you later. Okay, take it easy. Bye.